Hi, good morning. Just recall what we have discussed in our last class. We have discussed conjugation isomorphism theorem. Okay, just recall the statement of the theorem. Now we are going to discuss one corollary. Now the corollary says that what about the conjugation isomorphism theorem? This if alpha and beta are algebraic over f, then psi alpha beta from f of alpha to f of beta is an isomorphism if and only if alpha and beta are conjugate over f. Okay. Now corollary. Let alpha be algebraic over f. Clear? Let alpha be algebraic over f. Every isomorphism psi mapping f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure. Once again, every isomorphism psi mapping f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure. Must note one thing, f is a subfield of f closure and f of alpha is the smallest field containing f and alpha. Therefore, we have this result. Similarly, f is a subfield of f of beta is a subfield of f of if beta is algebraic over F. So here the map is phi from f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure. Okay, this is onto a subfield to some E and E is a subfield of F closure. Okay, such that psi of A equal to A for A belongs to F maps alpha onto a conjugate beta of alpha over F. Okay, the result says that this alpha must maps to a conjugate of beta. This alpha here alpha mapped to a conjugate of conjugate beta of alpha over f. Once again, let alpha be algebraic over a field f. Then this corollary says that every isomorphism, okay, every isomorphism psi mapping f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure such that psi of a equal to a for a belongs to f. This psi satisfies this condition. Psi of A equal to A for A belongs to A. This isomorphism must maps alpha to a conjugate of alpha. Okay. That is alpha to beta and beta must be a conjugate of alpha. Clear? Now conversely, for each conjugate beta of alpha over F, there exists exactly one isomorphism psi alpha beta of f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure mapping alpha onto beta and mapping each element A belongs to f onto itself. Converse part is for each conjugate beta of alpha there exists exactly, underline this exactly, there exists only one isomorphism psi alpha beta from f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure which maps alpha to beta and which maps A to A itself. This is one of the most interesting results and we use this in so many theorems. Okay. Once again, I am repeating, let alpha be algebraic over F, clear, alpha must be algebraic over F. Then the corollary says that every isomorphism psi that maps f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure and which satisfies the condition psi of A equal to A, then that isomorphism must map alpha to its conjugate. Okay. Similarly, conversely, for each conjugate beta of alpha over F, there exists exactly one isomorphism psi alpha beta. We have already discussed if beta is a conjugate of alpha, then there exists an isomorphism. This corollary says that this is the only one. Okay, this is there exists exactly one isomorphism psi alpha beta from f of alpha onto a subfield of f closure, mapping alpha onto beta and mapping each element A belongs to F onto itself. Hope the statement is clear. Okay, you have to remember this statement. Okay, so moving to the proof, what is given? Psi is an isomorphism of f of alpha onto a subfield of F closure which satisfies the condition psi of A equal to A. Now let alpha is algebraic over F. Therefore, we can write irreducible of alpha over F. So let irreducible of alpha over F is equal to A naught plus A1x plus A2x square plus etc. plus ANX raised to. Then it as it is irreducible of alpha, if you substitute alpha here, then the result becomes 0. A naught plus A1 alpha plus etc. plus AN alpha raised to n must be equal to 0. Since psi is an isomorphism, psi of alpha square you can write as psi of alpha alpha, and this is same as psi alpha into alpha, as psi is an isomorphism, and this is psi alpha square. In general, psi of alpha raised to n is psi of alpha whole raised to n. So we have this result a naught plus a1 alpha plus a2 alpha square plus etc. plus an alpha raised to n is equal to 0. Okay, so psi is an isomorphism, psi of 0 equal to 0 implies and psi of 0 is we get for this first 0 we apply this one. So this one, we will get this one. Okay, and as psi is an isomorphism, we can write like this. Psi is an isomorphism again, we can write like this. Okay, because psi of a naught is a naught. We have defined psi is satisfies psi of a equal to a. So here psi of a naught is a naught. Psi of a1 is a1 psi alpha. Psi of a2 is a2 psi alpha square, etc. Psi of an is an alpha. But psi of alpha raised to n is psi of alpha whole raised to n. So we can write like this. So if you consider this polynomial, then this equation implies psi alpha satisfies this condition, or psi alpha satisfies this polynomial. If you put beta equal to psi alpha, we get a naught plus a1 beta plus etc. plus a n b raised to n is equal to 0. Hence, irreducible of beta over f must be this one, because as in the conjugation isomorphism theorem, if we replace psi by psi inverse, this means irreducible of beta over f divides this polynomial. Okay, so if you use psi inverse and proceeding like this, we get irreducible of alpha over f divides irreducible beta over f. That means irreducible of beta over f equal to this one. Okay, so what we get, irreducible of alpha over f equal to irreducible of beta over f. This implies beta is a conjugate of alpha. Okay, there is no need to write the reverse part. You can directly say this one. Okay, this means this one. What is the meaning of that? This implies, actually this means irreducible of alpha over f divides irreducible of beta over f. And now we proceed psi inverse, and using this we can easily say irreducible of beta over f divides irreducible. That means irreducible of beta over f. Okay, there is no need to write all these things. You can directly write like this. Okay, so this implies irreducible alpha over f equal to irreducible beta over f. This implies beta is a conjugate of alpha. Therefore, for any isomorphism, psi mapping psi satisfies psi of a equal to a maps alpha to its conjugate. Conversely, for each conjugate beta of alpha over f, the conjugation isomorphism psi alpha beta of our theorem, conjugation isomorphism, is an isomorphism with the desired properties. Okay, so psi alpha beta satisfies this one. Now we have to check whether psi alpha beta of a equal to a. Now for a belongs to f, a you can write as a plus 0 alpha plus etc. plus 0 into n. Psi alpha beta of a equal to psi alpha beta of these terms, and which is equal to these terms, because in psi alpha beta, alpha changes to beta and constants remain same. So psi alpha beta of a equal to a. Also psi alpha beta, also alpha, if for alpha you can alpha write like this, psi alpha beta of alpha is equal to beta. Then note that isomorphism of alpha is completely determined by its values on the elements of F and its values of alpha. Therefore, psi alpha beta is the only such isomorphism. Because psi, if you we get here psi alpha beta of alpha equal to beta. Okay, this isomorphism is completely f of alpha. The elements of f of alpha is of the form a naught plus a1 alpha plus etc. So as psi is an isomorphism, psi of alpha raised to n equals psi of alpha whole raised to n. Okay, so this isomorphism is completely determined its values on the on values of f and the values on alpha. Therefore, there exists only one such isomorphism. Okay. Now moving to next corollary. The corollary is let f of x belongs to r of x. Let f of x belongs to r of x. F of x is a polynomial in r. Okay, polynomial with the coefficients in r. If f of a plus ib equal to 0, for each a plus ib belongs to C, then f of a minus ib equal to 0. F of a plus ib equal to 0 means f of a minus ib equal to 0. That is, complex zeros of polynomial with real coefficient occur in conjugate pairs. Okay, this may ask for one weightage question. Prove that complex zeros of polynomial with real coefficient occur in conjugate pair. That is, if f of a plus ib equal to 0, then f of a minus ib must be equal to 0. Okay. Now moving to the proof, we have C equal to R of I. C is a simple extension and we know that. And irreducible of IR is equal to irreducible of minus IR, and this is equal to x square plus 1, that we know. Okay. So we have what we have a plus I. This means I and minus IR conjugates over R. Okay. By conjugation isomorphism theorem, these are conjugate. Therefore, there exists a conjugation isomorphism theorem, isomorphism psi I minus I. For alpha I and for beta minus I. Okay. Psi I minus I from R of I to R of minus I. R of minus I is same as C. That is psi I minus I from C to C defined by. What about the elements of C? That is of the form A plus IB. Okay, if we apply conjugation isomorphism theorem, this map to I changes to minus I. I changes to minus I. So A minus BI is an isomorphism. Okay, so for if AI belongs to R, f of A plus BI equal to 0 means f of x is some any polynomial. Okay, so suppose f of x is of the form a naught plus a1 etc. Okay, so a naught plus a1 a plus bi etc. plus an a plus bi all raised to n equal to 0, because f of a plus ib equal to 0. Now 0 equal to same as psi is an isomorphism, psi I minus I is an isomorphism, this of 0, and psi I minus I of f of a plus bi equal to 0, because this is equal to 0, and we are substituting this. Okay, so this maps I to minus I. So this is actually psi I minus I of a naught plus psi I minus I of a1 into a plus bi, etc. And here this is psi I minus I of a naught is a naught plus this is a1 psi I minus I of a plus bi, and this is actually a1, this is a minus bi, and we get this one. What is the meaning of that? This is actually f of a minus bi. So f of a minus bi equal to 0. So if a plus ib is a root, then a minus ib is also a root. Therefore f of a minus bi equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, complex zeros of polynomial with real coefficient occur in conjugate pair. Now moving to some problem examples. Consider q of root 2 over q. Now root 2, irreducible of root 2 over q is x square minus 2. X square minus 2 equal to 0. X equal to plus or minus 2. Therefore, irreducible of minus root 2 over q equal to x square minus 2. The zeros of x square minus 2 are root 2 and minus root 2. So root 2 and minus root 2 are conjugate over q. Therefore, using conjugation isomorphism theorem, psi root 2 minus root 2 from q of root 2 to q of minus root 2 defined by psi root 2 minus root 2 elements of q plus root 2. Q of root 2 are of the form a plus b root 2. A minus b root 2. This is an isomorphism. Q of minus root 2 is equal to q of root 2. Therefore, psi root 2 minus root 2 is an isomorphism from q of root 2 onto itself. So here find all conjugates in C of the given number, root 2 over Q, root 2 over R, etc. So first one alpha equal to root 2, we have this one, and therefore the zeros of root 2 over Q are, therefore conjugates are root 2 and minus root 2. Now for finding alpha equal to root 2, this over R, root 2 must belongs to R, because alpha equal to root 2 and clearly root 2 belongs to R. Therefore, irreducible of root 2 over R is the smallest polynomial having root 2 as a 0, which is x minus root 2. This has only one 0. Therefore root 2 is the only conjugate. Now here alpha equal to 3 plus root 2. Root 2 does not belongs to Q. So here this over Q, we have to find over Q. So we are finding corresponding polynomial, and here we get this one. What about the root? And we get this one. Therefore conjugates are 3 plus root 2 and 3 minus root 2. At alpha equal to root 2 minus root 2 and alpha plus root 3 over alpha plus root 3 equal to root 2 and alpha plus root 3 square equal to 2. And simplifying this, here you have to root 3 does not belongs to Q, so you have to again squaring, okay, and we get this one. This is of degree 4, therefore root, it must have 4 roots from this alpha square equal to, but we have to get conjugate in terms of root 2 and root 3. So alpha square equal to this one, we are changing this as 5 from this alpha equal to root plus or minus root 2, and we are changing this 5 as 2 plus 3, and this 4 this 2 is same as root 2 square, and this 6 is same as root 2 into root 3. Okay, from this is same as root 2 plus root 3 whole square, alpha equal to plus or minus root 2 plus root 3, alpha equal to here we have two option, 5 plus 2 root 6 and 5 minus root 2 6. If alpha equal to 5 minus root 2 6, this we will get this. So we have four options, plus or minus root 2 plus root 3 and plus or minus root 2 minus. If it is plus root 2 plus root 3, if it is minus root 3 minus root 2 plus root 3 minus root 3, if it is plus root 2 minus root 3, if it is minus root 2 plus root 3. So conjugate. Try this problem as homework. Now next find all conjugates of this over Q. Okay, so alpha equal to this one, alpha square, again squaring, we get this one, and from this alpha square equal to, and from this alpha equal to. Okay, so conjugate. Now moving to next session, automorphisms and fixed field. An isomorphism of a field onto itself is an automorphism of a field. An isomorphism of a field onto itself is an automorphism. Okay. Now moving to next definition. If sigma is an isomorphism of a field E onto some field, then an element A of E is left fixed by sigma if sigma of A equal to A. Sigma is an isomorphism of E onto some field. Okay, some field F1. Okay, then an element A belongs to E is left fixed by sigma if sigma of A equal to A. Or you can write an element alpha belongs to E is left fixed by sigma if sigma of alpha equal to alpha. Because if you consider A, you may think that that may be a constant, that may be from field. No, this is actually an element alpha. An element alpha is left fixed by sigma if sigma of alpha equal to alpha. Clear? Or an element A belongs to E is left fixed by sigma if sigma of A equal to A. Now, if you consider collection S of isomorphisms of E, which leaves a subfield F of E fixed, if for each A belongs to F is left fixed by every sigma belongs to S. Because for suppose sigma 1 is an isomorphism such that suppose alpha, beta, gamma elements in E. Sigma 1 of alpha equal to alpha. Similarly, sigma 2 is an isomorphism such that sigma 2 of alpha equal to alpha and sigma 3 such as sigma 3 of alpha equal to alpha. Similarly, sigma 1 also such that sigma 1 of beta equal to beta, sigma 1 of gamma equal to gamma. So, this sigma 1 fixes alpha, beta and gamma. Similarly, sigma 2 of beta, suppose this holds, sigma 2 of gamma equal to gamma, sigma 3 of beta equal to beta, sigma 3 of gamma equal to gamma. So, if these sigma 1, sigma 2 satisfies, fixes every element in alpha, beta, gamma, then if you take F is equal to alpha, beta, gamma, and F is a, suppose this F is a subfield, okay? F is a subfield of E, and these sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3. If you take S as this one, every isomorphism in this set leaves every element of F fixed. Then we call a subfield F of E is this set S leaves a subfield F of E fixed. Okay. So if this consists of only one isomorphism, suppose this and sigma of here sigma of alpha equal to alpha and sigma of beta equal to beta and sigma of gamma equal to gamma, then we call sigma leaves F fixed. Sigma leaves F fixed. Okay. Now here next we want to find fixed fields of conjugation isomorphism. Here E equal to Q of root 2 and root 2 minus root 2 are conjugate over F, and psi root 2 minus root 2 is the conjugation isomorphism. And psi root 2 and minus root 2 are defined like this. Okay. So what about the elements of Q of root 2, elements of Q of root 2, which is left fixed by psi root 2 minus root 2. For sigma, we have psi root 2 minus root 2. For E, we have Q of root 2. And by definition, psi root 2 minus root 2 of A plus B root 2 is equal to A minus B root 2. This is by definition. So for finding, we have to find those elements alpha belongs to Q of root 2 which satisfies the condition psi root 2 minus root 2 of alpha equal to alpha. For this first we write what is psi root 2 minus root 2 of alpha. For alpha any element is of the form A plus B root 2 and this is equal to A plus B root 2. But by definition, this is equal to A minus B root 2, which is equal to A plus B root 2. From this, we get 2B root 2 equal to 0. This is possible only if B equal to 0. So, in Q of root 2, psi root 2 minus root 2 alpha equal to of alpha equal to alpha possible only if alpha is of the form A plus B root 2 and where B must be equal to 0. So where B must be equal to 0 means alpha must be of the form A. So psi root 2 minus root 2 of A equal to A. But A's are elements in Q. So for every element, Q root 2 must contains Q. So for every elements of Q, psi root 2 minus root 2 of A equal to A. So every element of Q is left fixed by psi root 2 minus root. Here Q is fixed by here psi root 2 minus root 2 leaves Q fixed. Okay, that's all for today's class.